Okay, for this project, for the web portfolio Q3 work, we're actually building a portfolio that you can use for all of the projects that you do in class. I believe they'll be able to be put in here. Writings, videos that we shoot, pictures and galleries, and links to other web pages that we may work on in the future. So it's really important that you check all the details and make sure that your website is set accordingly so that it's private, so that we can comment back and forth and I can see the work that you've done much easier than trying to sort through an inbox. Here's the example, and again, this is the website. There's a couple of different views that you need to become familiar with. When you go to the website, at the beginning, you're getting a preview of it with the option to do more, with the option to edit, with the option to create a new page, or with the option to go into the More menu, which gives you the ability to jump into some actions or set up some reports that get sent to your inbox or to create templates. As well as the ability to share and change the sharing settings. And those are pretty similar to all the other Google Docs. Actually, the sharing settings takes you to the Manage Site page, which can also be accessed from the web page, and there's a few different ways to reach that. This is just taking me straight to the sharing settings on the Manage Site, and there's a lot of other options that you can do. So one is that page. The other is the Manage Site, and then the other third view is when you are looking at a page and you have clicked on Edit, and it changes just a little bit where you have a toolbar and a few menus that you can insert or format or create a table or modify the layout. And each one of these things allows you to work with it a lot like a text document, and then the insert gives you a lot of other options and things that you can add to the page. And that edit windows, you can tell just by looking at the toolbar. The top has changed, but the preview looks pretty much like it would normally. Your sidebar should be prominently displayed, and again, this is one of those ways that you can jump from the edit window to the Manage Site page, and it allows you to go through these options. And one of the things you'll need to use is this Pages, which allows you to sort through and click and drag and move the pages and format them so that all of your Q3 work samples are in the Q3 work page, and it should line up nice. And if you use the alphabetical order, it'll be in the exact same order that the web page is, and then on each page you'll insert your project or your document or your screenshot or your video or whatever it is that you've got. Recent site activity, if you do need to go back and look, you can look at previous versions and revert to them if you need to. And I think that one might have been accessed from a different page. Attachments, basically if you attach anything to the bottom, it's a different procedure. And if you attach something to your website and you leave it public, it's something that someone can download, so like a PDF file that someone could basically download to their local computer. Templates, again, there's a lot there. App scripts, I haven't really used that much. I'm sure we'll discover how that works later. And you can go to General, which allows you to change the site's name, and that's important. So if you want to change your site to your name and portfolio as it says in one of the bullets, then you can do that from this window. And in the general setting, there's a few other options that you have. There's a click box right here that I did use for the ITGS website, and basically it detects whether or not you're using it through a mobile browser, and if you do, it just makes it a little bit easier to read through. It automatically detects that it's a mobile browser and adjusts accordingly. It's a useful tool. I don't know how many people will be using their mobile browser, but if you have it set up on your phone and you want to see your portfolio quickly, it might be a good window, especially if you're doing like an art project or something, and you're building a website that you want to share something, then that would be a good one to push. Sharing and permissions we already saw. AdSense. Site layout is another one that becomes pretty important. I've seen a few people create their site and it didn't have a sidebar. So when you go up to the change site layout, here is your sidebar and your header and a footer, which allows you to have different ways of navigating around your website. And you can modify those as well. Colors and fonts, I think I showed that in class. You've got the option to change everything. One of the nice things about this interface is that as you are changing this extensive list of different colors and fonts and schemes and background colors, background image for the page, or page wrapper background image, you'll actually see the update before you finalize it, so that you can work with it and then decide what scheme that you like and exactly how it would look to your website before you finalize it and save it. And last but not least, themes, which is just a basic generic set of presets that you can use to apply to your website. I just changed it to Horizon theme. The theme basically creates some background images, but it also manipulates the color that the text will look like. So someone pre-decided that light blue looks really well with the Horizon background, and they've left this part white. That's a quick rundown of what you're going to do if you're at home trying to work on this, because we will only have one more day in class, and it's going to be an expectation for the class that every project be put on the website, and that all the privacy settings and the name of the website is what it specifies in the project. And I think from there on, any project that we do, we'll just add it to another folder. We'll title it Q4, and then all of our Q4 assignments will go there, with the exception of this project, since creating the website is the project. Thanks.